as Lewis has had plenty of wins.
Yuki, do you think the front wing is damaged? Do you touch it?
Oh, I touched it for sure.
Just puts him out of kilter and he drops down past Magnussen and nearly George Russell.
Oh, look at that. There was contact. I hadn't realised there was the contact with Esteban Ocon, with Mick Schumacher.
He caught it quick as a flash, didn't he?
Yeah,
Brilliant catch. Press of a button. Oh yeah, it's straight on the turn-in. Big snap at the rear on the initial turn. It's very gusty out there. Again, yeah, you see
it sits in P1. Oh no, Mick! Oh, that's big. Oh, Mick, that's big. That's huge.
Here. Into 9. There's 10. Oh, I think it got slightly loose at the apex there. Here we go. This is 9. And now it's on the edge. It's on the edge at 10. And there, it's the oversteer that just puts him wide. And the car's already really loose.
Oh! And Latifi into the wall.
A switch to a hard tyre. They're going to go to the end of the Grand Prix now. But Magnussen and Hamilton in a different position.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, car at the moment. It's quite a clumsy-looking crash. And it looks like he's just chasing the side of the road.
Was there an orange board at the side? Here's the impact. Stroll and Albon.
Yeah, idiot just dive-bombed me.
Stroll didn't give him a lot of space at the apex. He managed to drive side by side through there. He's pushing. No DRS now. And he's a little bit tentative as well. Oh, just snap. A little bit tentative through the first corner.
Sorry, guys.
Is struggling. But Gasly's behind Tsunoda, which is not all that
Oh, and there's a big one. And that is Latifi. I'm afraid again.
Stroll slows down. Latifi comes through.
Oh,
no!
man. What
Come on!
done?
My word. What on earth is Stroll doing? Latifi let him go through. Looked like he was completely off the track. Now he's backed off, so he's obviously frustrated that Latifi hasn't let him go earlier. Now, what on earth is Stroll doing from that point? Latifi cannot be more on the right. He's almost on the grass. Traction.
Oh, and Alonso's in the wall.
Time to go a tenth and a half up on Perez. Oh, it's a car issue. He's lost the engine.
Man. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay.
That'll do it.
Mistake through turn 4. Just lighting it up too much.
Another driver error today. It's Sainz in the wall.
Oh, and Carlos Sainz.
Oh, it's all okay. It's all under control, but he just carries in slightly too much speed. It's anyone was going to improve anyway, but he's in third, and he just caught that white line again, exactly how he did in Q2. Oh, but I think the car will be okay with that. He hit it perfectly square, and that's the lead.
First lap, and here's a replay on board with Gasly. It's a Piratella, and he's gone straight into Joe.
As I mentioned, and Gasly just a little moment of understeer. Forced him wide into Joe, who
takes quite a wide line through the corner and does get a knock, does get a hit.
In front, Ricciardo, and there we go, just a clip with, it's actually a solid
positions within the top 10, the points-paying positions to be, oh no, and Leclerc's got it all wrong, and he's into the barrier up.
An uncontrollable slide, the whole car took off, so when he's trying to turn it back the other way for the second part of the corner.
Boxes Bottas has got through this year.
So, John, let's have a look at what happened to him.
He got a little oversteer, just almost touching the way. Nothing he could do.
There's of George Russell going down the straight, DRS open, a bit of bounce, but whoa, Sainz, oh, he hits the wall. God.
To turn 12, then he gets across, it hits just the back end at the ape.
Look through what went out wrong for Ocon.
Just, again, almost a mirror of what we saw, but he hit the wall for Esteban Ocon, comes through. And then there, the back snaps. Nothing he can do. He's sitting there, and no easy task.
Gasly's dropping.
Oh,
no! Contact! Yeah, that is contact, and it's Lando Norris.
It is. It's off the racetrack in turn 8, so what's that about?
He was really struggling, whether there was a problem with the car, and then, oh, wow.
Schumacher came back at him, down the inside, and that is why Sebastian Vettel...
Gap was that? I didn't see that. And that's it, I guess.
Russell, then Perez, then Sainz, who does get up. Oh, and a touch between Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton puts Kevin. Run down into turn 4, Hamilton covering. You'll see Kevin Magnussen come alongside us.
So now, oh, it was where Vettel, it's actually the same place that Vettel started to lose it, is where it went wrong for Daniel Ricciardo.
I'm glad you're okay. We'll fix the car, don't panic.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, I'll explain when I get back.
Yes.
The chicane, yeah, he's got onto the curb there, turning into the left-hander at the chicane. I think, yeah, he's hit the barrier.
Thank goodness. Let's see what we can find out here. Oh.
He was going a good sort of 20-30 kph too fast, as did...
Something with 100% sure that I'd like to hear it again.
Yellow turn 8, yellow turn 8. There will be red flag, track is blocked, track is blocked. Yeah, crash, pin 5. But the brakes were so cold, we started up, we were in pin 1, and now in pin 5.
Spotting message, expecting...
Thankfully, let's just have a look here. Oh, my goodness.
The hairpin.
Oh, that is Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher has hit the barrier incredibly hard. Again, by the looks of it, yeah, this is sort of more... It's the way the car breaks away here. So it's a very sudden breakaway, isn't it?
It's also quite early as well, because it's just on the exit of the right. It's not as if it's in the transition between the two parts.
Oh, and into the wall, that's Lance Stroll.
Narrow, and the wall comes at you pretty quickly.
Oh.
It's gone.
And it's turn 2, another 90-degree left-hander. No,
I think he's tried to carry on with that set of tyres that he kind of flat spotted, didn't he?
yeah, I don't think he came into the pit.
Oh.
And that's just not turned. It's Lewis Hamilton. Now, Sebastian Vettel.
Oh,
dear! I'm about to say, really going for it.
Actually happened. Big lock-up.
Just in too deep, getting a bit greedy on the brakes there. Early bankers, they'll only get quicker from here. Albon just locked up and then just couldn't stop it all the way to the wall. Managing to do the full Vettel 2019 spec. Here we go, yeah, he's just locked up and then bam, away with it. Perez has certainly matched the front wing at the very least, but is the suspension okay? That is some force the Red Bull has hit there at turn 3.
Yuki Tsunoda straight out to the pit lane, locks up, and that's a really...
From the outside, that's the speed of the Aston Martin in front, and you can see Tsunoda's just carrying way more in, turns in.
Also, that's by the barriers, and then it goes over the tyre barrier and into the catch fencing. So he was actually, Martin, upside down, as you can see, and the roll hoop and the halo very much doing its job before the car digs. Nicholas Latifi gets in between him and George Russell. Gasly backs out. There's the initial content. That's where the car then is upside down onto the gravel, and then it flips.
We're only seeing these replays. Now we know that he's okay.
Yes.
Just to reassure you. Yeah, so whether George got a little tap.
Actually 6 or 7 cars rather than 2 or 3 down in the pit lane getting worked on.
So this was Albon trying to avoid, and then he gets hit from behind. That was because he...
To say Albon, there's also...
Vettel hit the back of Albon. This is how it went for Tsunoda. This is where it all gets pretty tricky. So he was behind the sort of worst of it, and then...
So he's coming out of 6. Already the car's just on the edge of oversteer, and it just suddenly lets go. There's not a downshift there, which provokes Tsunoda's. Slid into an oversteer, fairly unprovoked, through turn 7.
Was he just
a couple of corners?
Yeah, not quite as good as he gets a big oversteer, and he's off into the wall as well. And you could see he was pushing hard. It was a scrappy lap.
9. Looks all so smooth through there. Then he turns in. I think the car just bounces slightly as he comes off the curb to turn in. It's not
like George Russell did in Silverstone. Gasly starts wandering across to the left-hand side and creates a sandwich. And I'm afraid, and initially then Leclerc got away really quickly. Verstappen pinched him to the inside. Sainz goes around the outside, and there's the contact.
Let's have a look. Well, he's on the outside here.
Gets a whack from Albon turning in. He's got loads of space on the outside, but keeps it turned in, squeezing Albon. That is, for me, a racing incident.
Come on away, and Russell will hold on to that position, or will Perez go around the outside? There's contact. How often have we seen that at turn 4? And it's Perez.
And so you'd have to say Perez is actually ahead at that point.
Here, Jodin, talk us through this.
So he's turning in. Gasly's running wider, and there's contact there.
He has to give up that corner. I had the nose ahead. What is wrong with these people?
Leading a race, won't go on to finish it.
He's been suffering with rear degradation. It's gone in hard.
Surprised he wasn't able to reverse out, actually. He's obviously been stuck under the tyres.
Well, it's like you're on ice at this stage. There's no way he's going to stop that.
The barrier, so I think the right rear certainly slapped into the barrier. Let's see how hard he hits.
So you're getting on the throttle here. At 10, this is an innocuous left-hander. He's actually lost it. Just as he starts to turn in a tiny bit, he's just lost it, kind of on traction from the one before.
Oh. Sorry. Oh.
It was their first front row in a very long time. Oh, big one. Oh, it's gone wrong for Charles, and he's going to hit the barrier.
They don't know any other way of driving, and Leclerc here just turned it in and lost the...
I don't think the car is damaged.
Copy.
I beg to disagree with Charles Leclerc there. The car is damaged.
From second place, the two Aston Martins side by side. Alonso with his eyes in the mirrors should hold on the inside.
Hamilton having a go. No, Hamilton and Alonso, contact! Contact up in the air when Hamilton... Let's have a look from on board, Fernando Alonso. Hamilton on the outside, turns in.
There's nothing more that Alonso can do at that stage. Hamilton was...
Closing the door from the outside. I mean, we had a mega start, but this guy only knows how to drive starting first.
Lap. Oh, and we've got a battle with the Williams and the...
It's a double oversteer in the barriers. Lucky to keep it in a straight line.
How big the gap is getting.
So here's the replay on board with Zhou Guan Yu, having a look around the outside of Latifi. Just gets squeezed.
What?
I mean, if that front wing is stuck, where I think it is, and as you see it, look at that wing.
But I don't know, that's so far off the racing line. As we can see, Albon's missed his apex, then gone straight on.
Retirement so far, Esteban Ocon has ended.
Hamilton's in the wall!
Oh no! And right down into the braking zone.
Oh, he just missed his brake point. It's a big error from Hamilton. It's a really big error. Missed his brake point and then immediately knew it and just dived into an apex, trying to find some level of grip there. But he
easily got the gap. As we get that replay on board with Tsunoda on the slick.
Wow, big impact. Took his hands off the wheel, knew that one was coming, and just in too fast. Trying to judge the speeds on slicks when you just bolt them on, having driven on inters for a while, is so tricky. Schumacher coming towards turn one. Russell trying to make a move, moved over on Schumacher, little touch, and George there trying to find the dry line, driving into Mick. This is going to be that river that I was mentioning earlier on. Through turn 7, now accelerating on 8, just minding his own business, tyre temperatures dropped, and that is the last thing Mick needed for his future.
I just had a huge aquaplaning.
And caused that impact. Here we go with Carlos, he's just lost it on traction. Intermediate tyres not cutting through the water well enough.
Yeah, I crashed.
Oh.
Wow. As I said, a very fast part of the track. You know, he'd slowed down, I think, a little bit for a car in front, but it's not like you're hitting the brakes through that section.
Sainz trying to go around the outside. Hamilton around the outside of Russell. Oh, Sainz spins. Sainz is spinning.
Happen on the inside, he fades a little bit to the outside to cover off Carlos Sainz, trying to go wide, and there you go. George Russell just drop kick Carlos Sainz.
Ocon just braking a little too late. He's right behind me. Oh my goodness! And that is Fernando Alonso. And one of the Astons is Stroll, I believe.
Wide entry into turn 11 to try to square off the exit. He's in the draft. I wonder if it's just an aggressive block.
Oh.
Here. Yeah, just a, wow, movement in reaction to the car behind you. Fernando been just a few feet earlier. He could have gone right into the side of that armco and maybe split the car in half.
I crashed.
Okay, Lance, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
To right, gets a little bit behind in the back from the front. It can cause an oversteer moment, and that's just on entry. That wasn't even before. That was before a change of direction happened. So that's just either a lock on the rear brakes. Let's see.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Copy.
Just not the car.
Yeah.
Actually quite a soft one in the end.
And push his way past, and he's diving down the inside, and they are going to touch, and Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri.
Before the brakes start to overheat, but that is it for Yuki Tsunoda. Is that our first retirement of the Mexico City Grand Prix, Croft?
Alonso, lap 1, bumping over the curb, bam, little bit of contact, and the damage that he gets to his front wing is he loses, runs really far out wide. Still Esteban Ocon just ahead.
I lost the win, I think, thanks to our friend.
Verstappen doesn't move, now he does, but it's too late and it's too little, and Sainz edges him almost tire to tire.
Great move from Sainz, I have to say. That's
up into the top 10 and around and past. Pierre Gasly having a look up the inside and a touch into Kevin Magnussen and spins Kevin Magnussen, who then reverses into Daniel Ricciardo.
With Magnussen, pole sitter yesterday really. He's okay, he gets to the apex and it's just into the rear really. It's Ricciardo and then Magnussen just, Russell now has a big moment leading a Grand Prix with the safety car out. He's got to do a restart on a long straight and that is the double clunk.
Sergio Perez to have a look at his teammate as well, but Verstappen's going to go around the outside of Hamilton on the inside and they touch. And Max Verstappen takes the pace in, has track position up on the inside. Hamilton does not believe it was a racing incident. They'll have to go around the outside into 5 and 6, and they've got to give each other room, and they don't, and they touch. And now Leclerc is off and into the barriers. Now, obviously here, Lando just gets up on the curb. It disrupts him. It slides him into Leclerc. They go side pod to side pod, wheel to side pod, and it just flicks him around.
Could there have been a bit more space? Maybe it's slightly more on Max, that one.
Are you okay?
He's a
Mick Schumacher, what happens?
Schumacher just going to, it's just, sloppy from Mick really. Exit of this corner, so you don't really want to fire in a lunge and be slow off it. Then he's just gone in a bit deep and just can't slow it up.
Man, a synchronized spinning there from two guys in potentially their last Grand Prix. Certainly